is SPD has said it's all cool as long as people stay out of the road. So what happened was, to summarize, and again, this is live in Seattle, and just to kind of give you a real quick summary of what's happened. I went to pull up. There were protesters in the street. There was a pretty significant police presence. I had to detour around. I'm actually parked and in the chop area. I didn't want to park down there, but I normally park in a different area. But that's where I needed to go because I was like, hey, I got to get on this. I fortunately was able to get a shot coming in from behind the police line on the opposite side. The police rolled in. The intersection cleared without incident. And basically what the police are saying is, if you stay out of the intersection, we'll all be good. So, I don't know what to say at this point. But that's what's going on. It seems as though every time I'm like, hey, let me go drive up here, and I roll up, it's like, boom, something happens. So, right now what I'm just doing is waiting for the light so I can cross, because at the end of the day, Broadway is a busy street, and as much as me getting splattered by a car would amuse probably some of my audience, I'm not going to do it just crossing the street.
So I appreciate that.
Oh, that's a music video.
And there we go.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Say it again. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Tell them as they drive away. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
What do we want? When we want it. What do we want? When do we want it? Black Lives Matter.
So part of what's going on here too is that I'm occasionally doing some camera work. And this is definitely an example of where I need to do some camera work. So every now and then you just may be like, what the heck is he doing? It's just, I'm getting a shot. And so right now, I got to get a shot.
So I got the mic, and I feel really blessed to be able to address you all, because this is probably the most important thing that is going to happen in our lives. This is textbook shit. This is the start of something that is really real. And a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people don't hope that. A lot of people don't have the faith that we have.
Faith is that process.
So,
please have more faith, people.
What's happened is, well, we'll go ahead and...
The web march is?
The what?
The female web march is? You know
I don't know where they're at right now, no.
So, she said, you said, this is textbook shit. I didn't even give you a textbook, damn. This ain't textbook, damn. Where's the class if you ever left to give you a hand? Flip a page, flip the notes, flip the book, flip the script. Oh, no, don't take too much time it took to take. And we ain't taking no more shit, that's done took. Moving sideways, the highway, gotta get up on the interstate, 5 ways.
You trying to see the wings or what?
5 ways, hands high and not.
Not as heavy as you think. Maybe about 10 pounds, 12 pounds, the whole rig.
I said, Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. No justice. 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 What is our First Amendment right?
You don't know?
And,
Freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, freedom of religious choice.
and
Yeah, tell them.
there we go. We're peacefully assembling.
And the right to have your grievances heard by the government.
I don't get that. There you go. There you go. So,
Where you get them green eyes
all
at?
my Irish, Scottish, German, Jewish, Muslim,
My last
Islam,
one.
blacks, African, brown, women, queens, Mexicans, Latinos, all of you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting blacks. Thank you. Give yourself a hand. Thank you. Because we're not done all day, every day. All day, all day, all day, all day. No justice. No peace. No justice. No justice. What matters? What matters? What matters? What matters? We gotta keep this going. We gotta keep the ears on. We gotta keep doing this over and over and over in front of all that walk by. All that walk by. Because if it happens to blacks, it happens to them. So we start with blacks. And we got this. Prepare yourselves, eat some dinner, chill out, decompress. I know it's stressful. We got this. We did our 8 minutes and 46 seconds out here. We got a piece of a freaking monument right here. All right? Drink some water, hydrate, take care of yourselves, and all you up there looking down on your mountain. We're not looking up, we're looking across. And if you don't like what we're spilling, change the Constitution. You need 3/4 of the states to change it. And it ain't going to happen. First Amendment right. We're going to speak, we're going to stand, we're going to assemble, and we're going to be in your face. We're going to be right freaking here. We got you. So you might as well talk
I'm by
to the
Seattle
CEOs
Central
of
College,
Amazon.
close to
You
Cal
might as well
Anderson
talk
Park.
to the CEOs of
So
Walmart,
right now we are up
Arkansas.
on
You might as well talk
what you would
to
call poop.
Target
I think I've heard this jokingly called
in
poop.
Minneapolis, where George Floyd died.
And
We are not done.
it appears that one of my phones is being
Not for
throttled
blacks,
again today.
Not for black women, not for our black queens, not for transgender.
It's not the phone that I'm
We
streaming
are
from,
not done.
but the one that I monitor the streams from. So I'm going to go ahead and restart that phone, and we'll see what happens.
I don't care if it winds up being in December.
What's up,
I'll
man?
be the only one
Good to
on
see
it.
you.
Right?
Where's your fancy
all
microphone and all?
And I'm at.
Dolo tonight, man.
And a
So
ball
we have
head.
the,
Oh, I got it.
otherwise I'm going to be doing microphone and selfies.
So, bring your
Is that
butts
any type
down
of news?
here.
Look,
Learn something
we need a soccer
instead of
ball.
watching Fox
We have
News.
like this world class soccer player. And he has like no soccer ball on him.
Instead of
That's
watching
like
Fox News.
literally a beyond a human crime. Especially for a dude that like lives and breathes that thing, his life support is gone. Please bring a soccer ball to this premises. Much love.
So there you go, Seattle Central College. Have you just heard it? Someone bring a soccer ball. Preferably don't throw it at me, but yeah, somebody bring a soccer ball. If you find me, if you know who I am, you find with the soccer ball, I will find the dude that asked for the soccer ball. So somebody could be a soccer ball fairy.
500 points for hitting concrete media with a soccer ball. Not in the face or head. I got a big head. Don't hit me there.
Shameless plug for Concrete Videos over here right next to me. And I know Brad Fox is in the story too.
He's in here somewhere. Or you can hit Brad. You get 1,000 points for hitting Brad.
1,000 points if you hit Brad. Brad sometimes tries to be the story. He gives me heart attacks sometimes.
Did you see him this morning?
Yeah, I totally saw him this morning.
I thought he was going to get picked up.
I totally thought he was getting. I do too. Oh, that was just friggin' that was delicious. It was.
Dude, I loved it.
The truth hurts.
Right? And he's not. He's got no shame in saying it. I love it. Okay.
So I'm just gonna piggyback.
Yeah, my other phone's totally throttled. I hate Verizon with the fury of 1,000 suns right now. Malcontents, I'm probably not going to be able to see your comments and questions on the cross feeds because my other device is being throttled by Verizon, and there's nothing I can do.
You got plenty of device going right there.
I do have plenty of device going here. It's not as heavy as you think. Yeah, so, well, I mean, right, you know, this camera allows me because, you know, we're shooting for the thing, right? So if I need to grab something for that, that's what this is for. And I always say if things go to shit, then the GoPro goes on. Yeah. So like when all the police rode up on the bikes. Yeah, about 15 minutes ago. Nothing really. I guess one of them started yelling Black Lives Matter. One of the cops, and then he rode off. Okay. I was on the other. I did hear like them, you know, yelling, but I don't know. Who. I didn't quite see it.
Yeah.
Right, because I was walking up from behind the lines, and I didn't want to be there. Right.
Yeah, no, it's just bad on your part. That's where you don't want to be.
It's totally where you don't want to be, right?
That first night they had a big clash out here. Like Shay and I had gotten behind the police line. I don't know if you saw that feed. Where we did a tour back here, like night one of the takeover.
Yeah.
It was creepy and eerie. And then they were about to clash right out here. And I was like, I think we're going to go ahead and step out onto Broadway because I don't want to be over on this side.
Right.
Things go sideways.
Yeah, that first night when they took back over, I was up here and they had that big clash on Broadway. And I literally rolled up to that.
Yeah.
When they were, you know, pepper spraying and
went this way and
yeah, exactly. And then when I went back and I looked at my GoPro video, if I had maybe been 5 or 10 feet over to the left, my day would have been wrecked. My day would have been wrecked because I was just like, whoa. And then I didn't notice it in the moment, but one of them just pointed a cam like just right at me. I mean, you could see he was just looking right at me.
Double barrel pink eye coming at you.
Oh, totally. Oh, my wife's so nervous about this. But it's like, this is important. They need the support.
You gotta be.
I'm so happy to see a lot more. I'll turn it on to you, or Joey. You can give a shameless plug out to Concrete Media.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
You're not wearing your normal your normal.
I was feeling more Seattle vibe.
You got the old school Mariners hat. You got the old school Mariners hat going.
You know it. I don't care if they try to break us down. We heaven right here. So watch out because we spreading it everywhere we go. Love y'all. By the way, I want to teach you guys a little something about Black Lives Matter. The only place you could possibly black at, you already know. It's in the center of your eyes, you guys. So be black with us. Come on. Love you guys.
Peace. Little Raz Simone action there for you.
Rad?
Huh?
Rad?
I think so.
That's rad.
Rad.
That's rad.
Call me Rad Simone?
No, rad.
Rad. Too cool, y'all.
Yeah.
Rad. It's a little hard to hear right with the N95 mask.
Yeah, no, I don't know how you do it. Yeah. Well, and he's got the old school.
He's got the old school mask on.
So we're going to be heading down to Portland here, I think, next week. Do some coverage down there.
Well, it's crazy down there. It's night after night.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting. Yeah.
It was good to see because I was with the Fem March 2 nights ago when the car drove through.
Yeah, I see you up there.
I was there when the car drove through. That group 2 nights ago, and SPD just so
Crazy.
over-escalated that, and then didn't do anything. They were right friggin' there. They were right there, and they didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah. Well, it's much like what happened with the off-duty officer.
Yeah. I know. Well, how about the first guy who ran over the bike and grazed, 3 days, right? He's still,
crazy.
no charge, no nothing going on with that,
Yeah.
right? He's fired. DoorDash fired his ass,
Yeah.
but SPD hasn't done anything, and I think this just encourages the behavior.
Did you see the decal on that one policeman's car?
No.
Yeah, there was a Jeep driving through a crowd of stick people and it said all lives splattered.
Oh, lovely. Oh, is this the dude that's been suspended with King County, or is this a different
Yeah,
one?
he's suspended. And then all the people that liked and,
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
just wildly insensitive, you know. I don't care what your beliefs are, you know. Right, left, up, down, doesn't matter. Like, you know.
But when you're entrusted to enforce the law, you are entrusted to enforce the law without bias.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you can't enforce the law without bias, then you're in the wrong fucking vocation.
Yeah, and if you're seeing human trauma and it comes at you with an element of levity, like, you really need to recheck your parameters. You know, if it's something
Right.
you make jokes about,
Right, especially that kind of joke. I mean,
it's just
that's really hard for me. Like, I was an EMT and I was on the search and rescue team for 8 years, right? And we had our jokes and we had our lines, but we were always respectful. There's just nothing respectful about that, right?
I got
It's not gallows humor. That's the word I'm looking for, right? It's not gallows humor. That's just I want to drag your ass to the gallows and watch you dance.
Yeah, no, there's suffering that comes at the hands of that joke. It's no joke. Blatant ignorance, man. I don't know how EMTs do it. I don't know how you did it. I had several friends that were like, of all the things to do, this is not one of them. Like, the things that you guys had to do and see is just.
I wasn't in an urban setting. I was in a rural setting, so I saw different things.
My last buddy said he's in Alaska, but he saw a lot of crazy injuries on the crab boats. And young people that are really getting banged up, and he's just like, man, I can't do this.
Yeah, I saw a lot of drunk driving accidents, saw some crazy injuries, a lot of self-inflicted gunshot wounds, just stupidity with guns.
Like
Texas.
suicide
No,
attempts?
just stupid.
Put the gun in the pocket
Texas.
and shoot themselves in the hip?
Yeah, or I'm cleaning the gun and I forgot it was loaded.
Cheddar
And,
Bob situations?
yeah, saw a stunning number of people that probably just should not have any reason to own a gun in their life at all, just because
Right.
domestic violence, shit ton of domestic violence.
Oh, yeah. Well, small towns, man, it's almost like the more boards you get, the more like criminally creative you get. And
Totally.
The dumb shit you do.
Totally.
Like,
There's some people, and there's something like gallows humor. There'd be some people, we get them in the bus, and they'd be explaining to us what happened and how they got hurt, telling us their story, doing like a little bit of a confessional. And afterwards we get them out, get them in the ER, and we're cleaning up the bus. We're just like, if they put half that much energy into a legitimate enterprise, they would be okay.
I'm telling you, like, if they took, and I'm speaking on like a drug tip here, like if you took the amount of effort that goes into people like copping, like scoring their drugs, and you were able to take that energy and apply it into anything else, like, they can move mountains. Like, 'cause that's something
But the
like
problem is they're in the beast of that addiction. They're totally in that beast of the
Yeah,
addiction.
you can't. I mean, definitely, like, I'm saying from a very,
I get it. I get what, but you know what? But people listening might not get what you're saying, right? But I totally get what you're saying, right? When you're in the belly of that beast, the only thing you want is your next fix. That's it.
But you're gonna do whatever you have to do to get it.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's crazy to know that, like, the power of that personal, like that perseverance of soul. Like, I will, and it will happen. Wow. It's impressive.
Yeah.
So what happened with the march? Were they just?
They're on the march. I saw a thing pop up on this device saying the pizza ferry had just arrived.
Already? Because they usually start at 8 o'clock.
I don't know. I saw a thing pop up. I couldn't read it because if I read it, the stream will pause if I pull up the next app. But I saw something about the pizza ferry's coming. So I don't know if the pizza ferry, maybe that means the pizza ferry's coming here.
Well, they've been coming every night. Now they're clearing out the park at 10, right?
That's the big rumor. Yeah. That's the big rumor.
I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder too. It wouldn't be the first time, right? You know, it's like, oh, they were going to take the barriers down on Friday. Then they were going to take the barriers down on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then one kid died, another kid's fighting for their life, and then they came in and took the barriers down. And they should have just friggin' stuck to their guns and taken the barriers down on Sunday.
Are the police still around the corner over there?
I'm sure they are. I go walk down there. I don't know. Check Brad's feed. Maybe Brad.
When I pulled up, I saw him over here.
Maybe Brad's down there yelling at him. I'm gonna go do a walkthrough.
Yeah, I gotta get on it too.
Yeah, it seems as though every time I walk away, though, like shit happens. Yeah, exactly.
Stay here and I'll get it.
That was Joey with Concrete Meat, y'all. So we're basically at the edge of the area formerly known as Chop, now jokingly called Pooch. If you're like, what does Pooch stand for? It's Police Occupation of Capitol Hill. And the city actually put, or I should say Seattle Police put out a tweet that said Cal Anderson Park is still closed, just kind of an advisory that they are still doing cleanup in the park, that they're moving on to kind of cleaning up, I guess, like the bathhouse and a couple of other things. But we'll do a little bit of a walkthrough. The reality is with the East Precinct opened up at this point, the police can move pretty quickly, and that's kind of what I saw when I first pulled up and parked here, that the police moved very quickly. Now, despite the fact that the city has said, hey, the park is closed, and there's a bunch of parked closed signs, at least for the time being, it's being very loosely, if at all, enforced. Because again, we have people out here playing Frisbee. So, why don't we do a little walk through Cal Anderson Park? Worst thing that can happen is I'm told to get out of the park. There are rumors about something coming. Joey had talked about that. And from my experience of 2 nights ago, where I went to Judkins Park, and then I did the Black Femme March, and I got a little too complacent. I didn't have what I call my riot bag. Riot bag isn't because I'm a rioter. It's just riot bag is stuff you need to protect yourself. And I didn't have it with me. So I have it with me tonight. And hopefully won't need it. So, but we'll go ahead. And so the big hand, kind of like the big fist hand, was right here, and that's gone. And as you can see, despite the fact that the park is closed, it's really not being enforced at this point.
What up? What up? Oh,
Yeah.
what up?
Hey, got the camera right here. Hey.
And then we got basketball going. He just tripped. So there's some things I've been curious to see. And so we're going to go and see some of that. Maybe. And you'll get to see it too. So we're shooting live. We're from Cal Anderson Park. And we're in Seattle, Washington. Cal Anderson Park is technically closed. But again, if I kind of look around, you can see there's a lot of activity going on. I'll be very curious to see if the city keeps this or not. It'll be very curious to see. I'm under the impression this was painted by the protesters. It was never tagged. The garden is still here. The last time I was here, the greenhouse trailer is still here. The last time I was in here, the plants in the greenhouse trailer were definitely struggling. So if I were to put another call out, I would say, if somebody wanted to get down here, they're doing okay, but they're starting to struggle because they're not getting watered, or it doesn't appear like they are. They're not doing terrible, but they're not doing great because we've been very tepid for July. We're having a non-summer, and that's probably helping. But if you love plants and you got a little time tomorrow and you got the muscles maybe to lug 2 or 3 gallons of water with you, maybe come down. I would advise doing it during the day, and I would advise not making a big production about it. But I would advise, you know, if somebody wants to come down there and give those plants some love, those plants would probably like it. So this is where the George Floyd mural was, and this has been all been power washed. To the best of my knowledge, these reflecting pools were empty and the fountains were off before anything happened in CHOP. There's still a little graffiti left. They'll probably have to come through and power wash or scrub another time. Basically everything that's in the reflecting pool has been cleaned off. Everything along this area has been cleaned off. The concrete has been cleaned off. And the George Floyd mural is gone, which was to be expected. I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm a little disappointed that it's been taken away, but I get it. And most of this has been remediated here. And it doesn't necessarily look like they've done a whole lot here. There's still kind of this right here that's been there actually for weeks. But although the park is closed, I'm certainly not the only person here, and there's people using it as a park. And again, as I'd said before, I believe all of this was off. This is like a water feature, but I'm really under the impression that none of this was running prior to CHOP, which would be normal. A lot of these things would be shut down in the winter time and then turned on in the late spring or early summer. And if there's any problem, say with the pump houses or whatever, it just wouldn't be running. This has been, for the most part, also cleaned off. There's still a little bit of work to do. I was out here on Monday. I'll be very curious. I guess I'll go this way. I don't want to jump down the wall. It's just hard with the rig. If you're wondering how come I'm not responding to your questions or comments, it's because Verizon is throttling my other device, and it just irritates the heck out of me, but it is what it is. So I can't watch my own stream and respond at the same time. But there are people moderating the comments. So there's still people moderating your comments. However, I just can't see your questions. Now this area along here still still tagged. These aren't tags. This is a real active construction zone, just FYI. So if you're seeing like marks on the pavement, it's because there is a ton of construction going along Nagel here. So particularly if you're seeing stuff in the road, it's not tags, it's construction marks on where infrastructure is located. I don't know if you saw Brad Fox this morning. You know, Brad called out SPD to their face that the reason he wasn't getting arrested is because he has a white person get out of jail free card. And they kind of proved his point because they were telling everybody else to get out of the road. And not only was Brad in the road, but certainly was just right there. SPD has tweeted out that the person that they apprehended and is in custody was arrested on a felony warrant, an investigation of aiding and abetting in relation to a homicide. And somebody on my page asked me what my thoughts were on that. And my thoughts are, you're innocent until proven guilty in this country. I have said many times on my feed, 82% of cases in a felony case is referred to Dan Sattenberg and the King County Prosecutor's Office. That's the way Washington state law is set up. County courts process felony cases. 82% of cases that go to King County are never prosecuted. They don't take the cases. 88% of cases are kicked back to the municipalities. That's a real fact. You can go to my blog, malcontentment.com, and read Welcome to Gotham, Seattle from December 2019. And there is a link to that. And that is a huge part of the problem that we have here with in the area. And you can support Black Lives Matter and then draw another breath and go, our entire criminal justice system in King County is completely broken. And I know usually when I say that, people from both political stripes are going, hell yes. Because 82% of cases are never prosecuted, and because we are talking about a police organization that tried to pass off candles, let's not forget this, as improvised explosive devices that injured police officers. And when they tweeted out the pictures, they didn't even bother to peel the candle labels off. So right now, in my mind, SPD has a massive credibility problem. And the other thing that I said when I was asked this question is, if this person was as who they were, why do the takedown when there's a bunch of other innocent people around, which only just increases the risk? It doesn't make sense. Well, they found that person right there. They found that person right there. Scotty isn't going to beam them up in the Starship Enterprise. They're going to have to walk off eventually. And it wouldn't just be hard to isolate that person and do it in a safer manner. And then why push other people out of the way violently? That's what was shown, who have no involvement at all. Right? I'm not saying they needed to take him to Burger King. Don't forget, Dylan Roof killed 9 people in cold blood. Police asked him if he was hungry and took his happy ass to Burger King. So that's the bar. I'm not saying they got to take them to Burger King, but there should be some fairness. So, anyway, we are back at...
I'm from Georgia. I don't do that. I don't know how y'all doing West Coast. But I know one thing.
We're back at Seattle Central College.
Storage every day.
Basically at East Pine and Broadway.
Like I'm gonna rob them in broad daylight? You ain't changing nothing. You crossed the sidewalk. Are you serious?
We're basically here at East Pine and Broadway.
When you want to talk to us? I don't know. You take a photo book moment.
There is a small encampment here, but that encampment is more related to a homeless encampment than it is necessarily to Black Lives Matter. And some of the people that are here are essentially stuck here because what happened was when Seattle police cleared Cal Anderson and CHOP, they gave people just 8 minutes to clear out. And by giving them just 8 minutes, a lot of people had their tents, their possessions, all of it. They didn't have time to grab anything. So then police said, hey, we'll go ahead, you'll catalog it, we'll get your stuff. And as everybody knows at this point, they just came in with front end loaders and threw it all out. So some of the people that are here have never kind of left because they literally have nowhere to go. They literally lost everything. And that's part of the situation.
Y'all need to speak to us. When I see y'all out here and you don't speak to us, but y'all want free food and all this other free stuff, that ain't changing nothing. Photo books, that ain't changing nothing. Pictures on that, what is that really doing? I don't want no water. My girl don't want no tampons. What is that really doing? They ain't gonna stop the cops from killing nobody. I watched that video before. Put his knee on his neck. He wouldn't let it up. I got friends that cop back in Georgia. I know one thing, I want to see some love, some communication. With all this talking and all this ain't no, we're going to get high modern day Woodstock. Because y'all here for show. A nigga still going to be a nigga at the end of the day. When my dad says this country, I hate to use that word, but I got to use it. That's how we talk. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. When y'all go, we still black. And y'all will be gone. I ain't got no place to go. Take a brother in, take a sister in. There's people out here on the streets can't work. Y'all came out here for fun. Where y'all been all these past 200-300 years? Y'all smile on my face, but you ain't feed me. You won't share a meal with me. I don't want no free second-hand clothes. I don't want no water. I don't want no damn rice biscuits. I don't want none of that stuff. I want a job. I'm 48 years old. I'll be 49 in November. I don't want you to smile on my face talking about, oh, I'm down with the cause. No, nigga, you wasn't down 2 months ago. I'm going to keep it real. Katie told me, I ain't going to come out here like, what's his name, going that drunk talk. All I know is, this is not a, we're going to get high, we're going to sell dope type shit. Because guess what? They still going to kill us when y'all gone. I watched that video. They wouldn't let the man breathe. It ain't the first time it happened. Where were y'all all those years when it was hanging us? Where were y'all 2 months ago? 3 years ago? Where were y'all? Y'all ain't no, hold on, bro. Because guess what? This didn't happen overnight, bro. This ain't no, let me get my platform, because I'm a lot older than you. So where y'all gonna be when it's all said and done, and now your bills are due? And now y'all can't stay out here and sit in the park. Because guess what? The average brother and sister can't pay their bills like that. Where you gonna be? Are you gonna be here with us? Are you gonna take us into your home? Are you gonna feed us? Are you gonna look out for us? You don't even speak to us. So when I see y'all out here, I'm insulted because of the fact you weren't speaking to us before. So it took another brother to die for you to come out here and say, oh yeah, all Black Lives Matter. We've been mattering. We built this country. That nigga didn't just start yesterday when George Floyd died. Where were y'all? We didn't just start dying when George Floyd started dying. We've been dying. We've been screaming. My dad served his country. You know what they told him? Yeah, get your food at the back door. My stepdad looked at him, and a white woman with his friend. He's 18 years old, just graduated from high school. You know what they said? They took him to jail. Where will y'all be when all this is said and done and the 15 minutes of fame is gone?
All right, I'm going to go back to where I was planning to go in the first place. You'll still be able to hear. The rig gets heavy. I just wanted to sit, and then there were just a couple of people that were standing right where I wanted to sit. And then the other issue is I need to clean my optics. And so I need to sit down in order to do that.
Cigarettes, I see black lives matter, nigga broke. I'm using the L-word, man, I like it, but it is what it is, that's how we talk. That's how we talk. When we say nigga, that means brother. Y'all can't say it, y'all say it the wrong way without doing that. I know one thing, don't come out here picking the phone, acting like you down with us, and guess what? I ain't never seen your asses. Now you want to show up. And I ain't trying to do the 5150 Western State shit. Because you niggas ain't down with me. You don't roll with me. I know a lot of y'all bother nobody, but I ain't trying to give them a platform. But I know one thing, I'm silver black. And I came up black. God, let that go, bro. My mom, all my family came up second grade, bro. I came from the right area.
Camera wiggles is just because I'm one-handing it right now. If you're just tuning in, we're in Seattle. We're live. We're at Seattle Central College, right on the outside edge of what used to be CHOP.
When I ask that change, I don't ask no change. I try to work. Ain't nobody gonna touch me. I'm going. I'm touching my ass. If I know one thing, don't smile on my face act like you my buddy, like you know me. My name is Virgil Reese Logan, 11271. I go by Scorpio. Am I lying, Sean? Well, y'all going out here. Now y'all want to show up like y'all down with the cause. But y'all will be gone. And we'll still be black. I'm going to see how you will at y'all. Because I don't believe this. But this is a show. This is a Facebook moment. This is a YouTube moment. I know one thing. When it's all said and done with, and we get paid back over, guess what?
Tonight's lousy user experience for you watching this stream is brought to you by Verizon. Verizon.
Help with the rest. Don't run from them. Just because you dress up a certain way, because his pants are sad. Sean said it every day. Ain't no threat just the way you dress. They judge us by the way we dress. They judge us by the color of our skin. I know what it is. That man said every day I tell him put pants on. I'm dressed like that. I can't help you, bro. But I know one thing. Don't act like you try to help me, but you cross the sidewalk. Y'all think about here for show. I don't see no black people out like that. I see a hippie pass. I see everybody trying to get high. Tell dope, whatever the fuck you trying to do. But I'm keep it real. Y'all ain't asking no real niggas. The real niggas, y'all really have some real niggas out here. Y'all go to the black community and bring it up in here. Y'all did that on your own. Y'all got on your phones, and y'all protesting on phones, and hey, meet me out here. You ain't really shutting no black community. So I don't believe you. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. MLK. It started with him. Where were y'all? Ain't even been to Georgia. Don't know nothing about black people. I'm a solid.
For the record, I've been to Georgia multiple times.
You're streaming, right?
Yeah, I'm streaming.
Okay, I don't know why people haven't picked you up.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell them that because people were saying, "Oh, there's no one on the ground," and I'm like, I feel like someone's on the ground. That'll be good that there's two of us at least.
Yeah, well, and Joey's here. Concrete's here. He's streaming. There's three of us.
Joey or Concrete?
Concrete, sorry, Concrete.
Yeah,
Joey's still off air, right?
Yeah.
Y'all walk past a person, knowing that that person's hungry and homeless and got mental health issues.
And you're going to the page, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I should be on my page. Yeah.
Y'all walk past people and ignore them. And y'all go home after having a good night in the bar.
Have you seen any At least since I left.
No, and I actually did a full walkthrough. There's people playing in the park. It's
Yeah.
just-
I was gonna walk around that way because that's where I saw them wrangling.
Right.
Especially if you're here and is it where are they at?
I walked around the park. I went down kind of like where Rancho Bravo is, and I didn't see anything.
That's where we walked through. I didn't see anyone good.
The fact that y'all go home every night. There's only a few people out here in the tent. That's because they got no places to go.
Well, I'll be around. I might do a loop back that way.
Okay.
That's where I saw a bunch of bike cops.
Got it.
So I just want everybody to understand that hopelessness is not an appropriate place on microphone. So hopelessness is not okay. Hopelessness is not, it's not okay to spread your message of hopelessness. So again, I have provided on risk of my own neck. This is something I brought to share with everybody here, to share a message of peace and joy. Hostility. This is Dan. He was shot. This is the person who was shot. This is the first. So this is Dan. He's gonna have something to say.
Dan, we have just received some very good news. Like very good. You know the first and the third? It's the first right now. It's the first. Okay. Yeah. I want you to read this shit. So, Dan. Alright, so this is homie Sean King, right? He just like this popular white dude. But alright, you can read that, right? That's a tweet he done posted like just hot. Yeah. What does that say?
Yo, Seattle City Council has agreed to fund the police budget by 50%, and we don't get no funds for city services. How you can take the mental council more? Hey yo, first of all, hold up.
So listen to this. You're hearing it here.
40 years ago, by the name of Martin Luther King, who spoke about peace, he spoke about love, he spoke about unity. He did not speak about division. What I seen a couple weeks ago was division. That's not going to help. Unity and coming together helps. Putting people over you helps. Holding yourself accountable and holding others accountable helps. Don't vote, that helps. If I die in the hands of the police, that's your friend's fault for not voting. If you're not voting, that ain't different. All this stuff means nothing. Have a march down the street. All September 4th, Black Lives Matter.
What's that?
Walking down the street, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter. But we gotta do it together. We can't have division. We cannot have division with the people. There's no division. When I stopped that car, listen, look, I tell you what, God, I'm the truth. When I stopped that car,
So what's just been announced here is that the Seattle City Council has voted to cut the Seattle Police Department's budget by 50%. I'm trying to confirm this, but my second phone is being significantly throttled by.
That's what he talks about in unity. It's simple. We were born to share. We went to kindergarten and teach sharing. And teach that. Look, this is all possible. But real shit, naps are mandatory in life. You need to take a nap every fucking day. One time. Because people lose their mind. Also, it's simple. It's simple as shit. It's simple. When you help somebody, you feel good. Why? Because it's simple. We're made to do that. We are made to help people.
It's sounding like a lot of people are having issues with the stream. I'm going to shut this down and I'm going to